everybody. Welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs. My name again is Jeffrey Davis. I am host of Radio Entrepreneurs. I'm also chairman of the board and CEO of Mage LLC, management consulting firm working with leaders of organizations and family business in transition. Every week, we like to check in with the fabulous Marc Z for our Marc Z Moment. Welcome back, Marc.
Thanks, Jeff. Great to be here, and happy final weeks of summer. So
I'm sure you and I are coming back from the IR and playing tennis, and I had a big game yesterday and I performed.
Excellent. I'm not surprised. You're clutch.
Well, we were in the end. Tiebreaker.
Nice. I like those.
So, Marc, what do you have for us today? Because you and I are not world-class tennis players. We're just fun tennis players.
Well, the subject I'd like to talk about is the idea of going temp to perm, sort of contract to direct hire. A lot of organizations, companies, and firms are starting to revisit that as talent seems to be loosening up a little bit. There are really talented people out there, and it's an opportunity for a lot of candidates to have what we call a working interview to see what it's like at the firm, to try the work out and gain some experience that might be complementary.
I love that.
And, a lot of organizations, firms, and companies could not do that the last several years because it was a really tight market. And it's still a tight market, but it's loosened up to the point is there are a lot of talented people available, and companies, organizations, and firms are saying, here's a talented person, but we would love to see what the person does without just 2 interviews. Let them try it out. We compensate them. And for the candidate, it's a great chance to say, you know what, who might have been laid off, who might have left an opportunity because they were part of that COVID quiet quitting situation, but now it's a chance to really explore a new opportunity, really get into the weeds, and then determine, is it right for them, the organization, firm, or company? Is the candidate a right fit for them? And it's a better chance of success because they tried this arrangement first.
It always amazed me. I've done that stuff a lot. When I was in graduate school, when I used to go to school in a dinosaur, and we learned about doing these things that you're mentioning. But I don't think I've seen it done more than a dozen times in my career without trying to convince clients to do it. You're going to hire a financial person, give them a financial statement, let them go in a conference room, then come in and let them talk to you about the financial statement, let them write a short analysis. Someone's going to do any job that has writing. Give them a little writing project, not a big one, and come and let them have a half hour in a conference room and let them write, and make sure that they're not going home and having somebody else write it, someone else analyze it. Somebody write resumes nowadays. See how they think on the job.
Right.
Build that in the process. It's so easy to see how they interpret stuff and how they think and can respond to you. You see them in action very easily.
Total, great point. A lot of firms, for example, we've had a number of situations, whether it's a law firm or a company, who have had some exercises that they want at a certain stage the attorney or the executive to handle, and this is their way of saying, we can't look beyond your performance on the interview. We can't look beyond the writing samples because they don't know if they did the writing samples or if they had writing samples, what percentage they did. But what we can do is, and we can't, in situations prior to that, especially if they've been working, we can't have them take time off and try this or come to our site. So here's an opportunity also, that exercise, like you're saying, those are very good too, to really focus whether the person is a good fit and whether they have the right skill set and experience.
It's so easy to do.
Right,
You hire them and day one, they're starting to do those same things. And then you look at them day one after you've hired them and they're like, wow, is this the same person I hired? I thought they
right,
knew how to do that. I thought they knew how to punctuate and write a sentence. Now they don't. What
right,
happened? Well, you know what
right,
happened? Someone else prepared them and they hired some person to help polish them up. And you could have spent one more hour before you hired them doing that.
right.
Between you and Phil Sharkey, and I have to put you together, I'm sorry. Your preparation for hiring properly, interviewing properly, getting to know your people, Phil doing background checks. It's so easy to make sure that you haven't made a mistake.
Well, there's so many parts of the process, and every time you go to one stage, you have to think creatively because the way we do things today, rightly so, we have a lot of laws today, so you can only go back so far as the person. References, the people who give references hopefully will give the best possible references, because if they don't, that's a sign. It's like you're expecting a candidate, when they give references now, they're going to give references that say you were the best thing since sliced bread. If they don't do that, so then there's a harmful element. If they do that, which is what it's expected. So what is a hiring authority to do when the interview went well, the references went well, but they really don't know the candidate's ability? Well,
Well,
ideally, temp to perm or temporary trying it out, or if not, a skills exercise that you have talked about is a really good alternative.
well, I'll add to you just for the humor of it. When my wife and I were selling a house, you might know this or not, I won't give you all the details. Somebody gave us their background because they were supposedly going to get a mortgage. Both spouse and husband listed a school and a company that one of them owned, and both the schools and the company were not findable on the internet.
Interesting.
And I said to my wife, we're not selling to them. Something's going on here. So, but if somebody wants to do a better job, easy phone call, find Marc Z. How would they find you, Marc?
Well, first of all, go on our wonderful radio entrepreneurs website, radioentrepreneurs.com. Go to marczlegal.com, MARCZ legal.com, legal.com. Google Marc Z, MARC, and the letter Z, and 617-338-1300.
Thank you. And Marc, I know I'll see you again next week on Radio Entrepreneurs.
Thank you.